First question is, what are the duties of the fiscal officer?
Okay, basically, you're running the books, you're running the township, it's putting everything in line, you have to follow the budgets, okay? We have a budget of 14 million some dollars, and we have to make sure that nobody's overspending. It's a business, whether it's a government business, a business for local employees around here, it's a business that we got to make sure we do not spend more money than we have. We have a lot of different areas that we have to make sure it's balances and checks, and we're dealing with from the police, the fire, and everywhere else throughout the township, the parks, making sure everyone is doing what they need to do to follow their budgets and keep in line so that we're not overspending and trying to call you guys for more tax money.
Okay, fine, thank you. Mr. Batista?
Well, I think I started to define that in my speech. The position of fiscal officer is to work with the trustees to make sure they spend the money wisely. And you're also the safeguarder of the township funds. So it's a big responsibility. And you're also responsible for keeping the records of the township.
Ms. Wolf?
There are several different responsibilities for the fiscal officer. We have to issue the warrants. We're the only ones that can write checks in the township. We are the fiscal agent for the Mahoning County Task Force, so we also have other agencies that run through our books. We have to record the minutes. We are the keeper of the records. We also have to certify the funds. We have to prepare the annual financial report, and we get audited on that every year.
Okay, thank you, Lori. The next question, and this will be directed, Mr. Batista, you would be first on this. How would you or what would you do to better support or improve small business owners?
Well, we have to improve our infrastructure. Number one, we have to make the community more user-friendly in terms of more businesses moving in. We just need to make sure that our community is ready to accept new businesses, and make sure that well, that's about all I have to say about that.
Mrs. Wolf?
We have to continue to work to keep the township an attractive place to be. I know with the zoning department, they're going out and they're taking houses down, they're getting rid of nuisances. The road department's cutting tall grass. We need to make it a viable place for people to want to come. I know our tax rates and our levies support all of the police and the fire. We have good services out there, and we need to just keep that going.
Thank you. Mr. Cole?
Okay, this is one thing that I work with the regional chamber, Main Street Chamber, and everything, attracting new businesses to Austintown. I even have a plan where I'm going to be going to the vacant business owner areas, buildings, and trying to get new businesses to come on in, talking with the business owners and the landlords, trying to create a 3-tier rent system to where, like, the first year, if they've had a building that's been unattained for a while, we can maybe let this new company come on in, pay all the actual utilities, taxes, and insurance for the year 1, pay half the rent for year 2, then they'll be at full rent on year 3. We are always trying to bring new businesses to Austintown, and that's something I do each and every day of my life, because we'd want to make Austintown the hub of new business.
The next question would be, Mr. Batista, I believe you're first on this one. What motivates you to want to be the fiscal officer of Austintown?
Well, I've lived in this township all my life. I love living here. I've raised my family here. I've always had a passion for this community. I like helping people out. I want to stay here. And I just feel it's time in my life to give back to the community through public service.
Very good. Thank you. Be Laura, I believe.
Can you repeat the question?
Oh, okay, I can do that. What motivates you to want to be the fiscal officer of Austintown?
Well, actually, I've currently been doing it for 2 years. I enjoy it. Governmental accounting is my mainstay. I've done it since I've graduated from college. I know the ins and outs. I've worked it from the ground up, and I appreciate the people of Austintown. I love Austintown. I've lived in Austintown, and I want to keep it the great place that it is today.
Thank you. And the final question I have is, what experience do you feel makes you the most qualified candidate for fiscal officer, and how do you plan to apply that experience to the position? Please be specific.
Okay, as a financial service specialist, I feel I'm the most qualified because I'm dealing with corporations each and every day of my life. I'm going to take my networking experience from Rotary to the chambers to making connections around the community to go ahead and help Austintown grow into the future. I dedicate a lot of my personal time each and every day of my life for Austintown. I love Austintown, and I'm working hard each and every day. So I'm going to do what it takes to bring new people in, bring new businesses into Austintown, create the grant writing process that will be getting extra money to Austintown, and working with the cooperative spending and everything else. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Bassista.
Okay. Well, of the two people sitting up here, I probably have the most college education of anybody. I went to college for 7 years. Got my bachelor's degree with a double major. My life experiences, I'm the oldest one here. My finances, again, I've always kept my own personal finances in order. That's one thing you want to look at with a candidate. And that's about it.
Thank you. Laura.
I believe my qualifications as being the accountant for the township for over 15 years and now the fiscal officer for the last 2 years are very important in your decision to choose me for fiscal officer. I've kept the township balanced. We have obtained grants. We've passed different levies thanks to the wonderful residents here in Austintown. We've done a lot to keep the township at the top. I attend different seminars and continuing education every year to go along with my bachelor's degree to keep up on the accounting, one specifically stated towards townships and government. So I think that I have the knowledge, I know I have the experience, and that's all I have to say.
Thank you.